dress van, Biggie Smalls. Listen.
I'm similar to the thriller in Manila. Honeys call me bigger, the condom filler. Whether it's stiff tongue or stiff dick, Biggie squeeze it to make shit fit. Now check this shit, I got the pack of rough riders in the back of the Pathfinder. You know the epilogue by James Todd Smith. I get swift with the lyrical gift. Hit you with the dick, make your kidney shift. Here we go, but I'm not domino. I got the funk flow to make your drawers drop slow. So recognize the dick size in these Coincatch jeans. I wear 13s, know what I mean? I fuck around and hit you with the Hennessy dick. Mess around and go blind, don't get to see shit. The next batter, here to shatter your blatter, it doesn't matter. Skinny or fat or light skinned or black, baby, I drop these. Boniqua mommy screaming, I poppy. I love it when they call me Big Pop, but I only smoke blunts if they roll prop. But look, I got ya caught up with the drunk flow. Fuck taekwondo, I told a fofo. For niggas getting mad cause they bitch chose me, a big black motherfucker with G. You see, all I do is separate the game from the truth. Big bang boots from the Bronx to Bolivia, getting physical like Olivia Newt. Tricks up my click dick all day with no trivia. So give me a bankroll and a bag of weed. I'm guaranteed to fuck her till her nose bleed. Even if the new man's a certified Mac, you get that H-Town in ya. You want that old thing back?
B-I-double-T-I-E with some new R-U-L-E. Notorious, known for bustin' in your E-Y-E. Baby, baby, bitches know they love to hate me. How come you come with coming back to maybe? How close we came to coming together is crazy. How come you and your sis make similar faces? When y'all come and y'all be crying like I'm killing y'all bitches. I know there's a bigger picture than the camera rolling. Cause I don't think y'all be knowing how this shit's unfolding. Back shots to the rear, got the Mac unloading. Gotta reload like every so often. Saying I got my swagger back. I'm looking like bitch, my swagger never left. Don't be so hard pressed to be impressed by these new rappers. They actors and the fact is, you want that old thing back.
Scarface and Bushwick, Willie D, having nightmares of girls killing me. She mad because what we had didn't last. I'm glad because her cousin let me hit the ass. Fuck the past, let's dwell on the 500 SL, the E and J and ginger ale. The way my pockets swell to the rim with Benjamins. Another hunt's in the crib, please send her in. I fuck non-stop, lick my lips a lot. Used to lick the clips a lot, but licking clips has to stop. Cause y'all don't know how to act when the tongue go down below. Peep the funk flow, really go. I got the cleanest, meanest penis. You never seen this, stroke of genius. So take off your Tim boots and your bodysuit. I mean the spandex and hit my man next. Sex get rougher when they come to the nut buster. Pussy crusher, black nasty motherfucker. I don't chase them, I replace them. And if I'm caressing them, I'm undressing them. Fuck what you heard, who's the best in New York? Fulfilling fantasies without that nigga Mr. Raw. Or tattoo, I got you wrapped around my dick. And when I'm done, I got the split shit.
All right. I'm not really sure what's happening with my mic, but it's not working right now, so not even getting picked up. I have to use the headset today. I do apologize. Literally working this morning. I'm gonna try and fix it. Can you guys hear me okay? I think it's because, so I'm in a Teams call with someone right now. That's probably why. Uh, hey, Tim, can you hear me? Okay. You can talk. I don't know why my other mic is not working. Okay, they can hear. Okay, the stream can hear me. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna use this mic. I apologize for the quality. Um, so I guess let's get going. So one of the biggest declines in stock market history this week, I believe the last one was March of 2020 with the COVID crash. Um, I do apologize again for the mic situation. I don't know what's happening with that, but first I wanted to start the stream off before we get into any analysis. I have Tim from Count on Sheep. Guys, look, two things are certain in life, and it's death and taxes. And I've had Count on Sheep on here before. They talked about how they do their crypto taxes, why their method's good, how they can save you a bunch of money. They're one of the most reputable firms that I know of that do crypto taxes. So Tim, if you want to go ahead and take it, I'm gonna put you up.
I'll be brief since we had a crazy day in the market, and I'm sure you all want to hear Roman's analysis. But essentially, Count on Sheep is a crypto only CPA tax firm. And so we don't want to touch any traditional tax. We want you to keep your CPA or tax preparer or even just use TurboTax. But what we specialize in is actually optimizing your crypto tax. So as you know, it's always a mess. You send something from Coinbase to an external wallet. Coinbase thinks you sold that asset. And when you send it back to Coinbase, Coinbase thinks, oh, where'd this money come from? We have to assign a $0 cost basis. So you're getting taxed every single time you're sending from a KYC exchange to a non KYC. I know a lot of you guys probably trade on DEXs with futures trading. So whenever you send money there, you make some profits and send those profits back. Those profits are getting taxed at a 100% capital gains tax rate because those exchanges are not talking to each other. And so what we do is we come in, we get all your APIs or we get all your CSV files, and we're able to actually manually adjust the cost basis for every single coin and token and transfer you do. It's kind of like how Zach XBT goes through the blockchain. We do the exact same thing. We go on the back end, look at the blockchain, and make sure that all the cost bases are correct. And so on average, this saves any of our clients like $5,000 to $10,000, just depending on how many transactions they have. So especially if you took some profits in 2024, I know we had that huge run up in November, December. You probably want to buy this dip and are worried about your tax bill coming up. We can optimize whatever you sold back from last year to make sure you have the most amount of money to buy whatever dip you want right now. And so what we have with Roman right now is because the tax deadline is in 11 days, it's not realistic for us to do that for you now. But because you guys are followers of Roman, if you come to us, we'll give you a 30% discount. You have to use Roman's link. So Roman will share that link on Twitter or YouTube in the description somewhere. But make sure to use his link. We'll give you 30% off. All you have to do is file a tax extension and we'll do your crypto taxes between now and when they're due in October. So if you're in the US and you want to take advantage of that, use Roman's link. We also offer our service worldwide. So it's not just in the US. So if you're someone in Canada who has the deadline coming up as well, or we work with a lot of people from Australia and the UK as well, we can serve any major nation to ensure that your taxes are properly optimized. And we also offer consulting. So if any of your altcoins are down, we can explore options to do tax loss harvesting to actually optimize your taxes for next year. And we have tons of free content as well. So make sure to follow our Twitter account. We're just all things crypto tax. It's a crazy environment, and we just love helping people and making sure they aren't getting screwed by their CPA or by things that they just don't even understand.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
Thanks again, Roman, for having me on.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for being here. I got my mic to work, so now we're good. But yeah, thanks for sharing. Guys, there's a link in my Discord. It's under crypto tax info. There's a little description on Count on Sheep they wrote out for us just in case you need more information, a website link, and then the actual link to go do your taxes. So check that out if you're interested. It's tax season. Guys, pay your damn taxes. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want, I know it sucks. I know, people that make tons of money that, you got $100,000 tax bill, pay it. Pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. Don't be a hog. But yeah, thanks again, Tim. I'm going to go ahead and get on with the live stream. But thank you again.
Sounds good. Thanks, Roman.
See you, man. All right. Now we're back. So, couple things. One, sorry I haven't been live streaming the last 2 weeks. Just been busy. Working on some stuff, and ultimately, up until this week, the market's been pretty boring, especially crypto. So, I'm kind of weeding my way out of day trading. I'm getting ready to actually probably buy some stocks here pretty soon. So we're going to go through some stuff, some important stuff. Why are we dumping? I know a lot of people are blaming Trump, guys, but Biden's administration held up the market with fake promises and error for the last 2 years. Really since COVID. Think about it this way, right? What has honestly been growing for the last 2 to 3 years, other than inflation and interest rates, right? I don't think, this is just me, I don't think the economy's been growing. I think it's been slowing down. I think it's been stable or slowing down. And a lot of that has to do with how expensive everything is. I think, we need a little bit of a reset, and we're getting that reset. Guys, we are 5% off from the recession average. Right? The recessionary average, I believe, is 25 to 30%. That qualifies for a recession. That's why in 2022, when we dumped, this was a recession, right? Took a whole year to get down there. Unfortunately, this has taken 5 weeks. So, very, very interesting. Are we done dumping? I don't think so. I think this candle is very strong. I think there's a lot of what I've been saying for the last couple weeks, a lot of uncertainty, and the market doesn't like that. I'll be honest with you. I am completely amazed by Bitcoin's resilience right now. The fact that Bitcoin is not dropping with stocks dropping is a little weird to me. I'm almost wondering if this is going to have a delayed reaction. Again, I'm not trying to cope. Maybe it's very bullish. Maybe the fact that Bitcoin's not dropping is extremely bullish for the rest of the rest of crypto. It's kind of shocking that alts really aren't dropping that much either. When in the past, the S&P and Bitcoin have been following each other, pretty relentlessly. And I guess, crypto is still dropping with the stock market, but pretty weird. But let's get into a couple things, guys. So I really wanted to spend a lot of time on the VIX today. Why is the VIX important? Why am I talking about it now? So I use the VIX for long-term views of the market. Where are the best places to buy, right? Other cartel keeping it up? Yeah, probably. So no one's going to promote buying more Bitcoin at these levels. And look, my problem with buying long-term Bitcoin right now is we haven't really corrected. I need to see a bear market correction, not a 20% pullback for me to buy, personally. Plus, I'd like to take long-term capital gains tax, not short-term. So it's not that I don't want to buy. It's just, yeah, actually it is. I don't want to buy at these levels. We need to see a significant crash. And if I miss out on Bitcoin going to 120K, that is what it is. In the long run, I'm glad I sold because a lot of these altcoins just did a minus 80%. So I kept a lot of value that way. But let's look at the VIX. This is important, guys. Write this down. I've been talking about it with patrons all week. This is Okay, I'm going to remove some of the brush strokes here just so we can redraw and get a clean picture. Okay, so why is the VIX important? The VIX is a volatility index. When volatility spikes, it generally means we're selling off, right? That's sell-offs are quick, pumps usually take longer. That's why they make the joke stair step up, elevator down. So when we are dumping, right? The pink is the S&P 500. In 2008, we'll look from 2008 looking forward, but you can go ahead and look at this really from any time frame. Put these white bars in. Why are they important? Well, it's when volatility breaks above this 40 level. In almost every single instant, actually, really every single instant, that's when we are close to a market bottom. So I'm actually going to make it so there's two of these screens, not two screens. I'm going to put the market on the bottom and the VIX on top, and I'll adjust it as we move. But look how important this is. This is 2008. 2008 breaks above, and we are currently at, what is this, 1016. We ended up dropping all the way down to almost 700. This is a massive buying area, right? Huge buying area. Was it the exact bottom? No. But look how much we corrected before then. We were at 1500, 50% correction. You got to take advantage of. Right? Seeing that the VIX is extremely volatile at this point, seeing that it's above that 40 area. You could even say maybe 50, but you just started buying the 50% correction all the way down. I believe it was an 80% correction overall, 75%. I might be wrong. I can't pull out. I don't think I can do. Yeah, I can't do that because this is based on the VIX, not the stock market. So my point is, likely a bottom, right? We're getting above that 40, likely a bottom. Then we look at 2010. We spiked above a couple times here, right? The first time we dropped from 1216 all the way to, what is this, 1,100. So not that much of a drop, 10%, but still a good buying opportunity because we headed up soon after. Then you have 2011. VIX spikes above 40 is the exact bottom, right before heading up higher. Then in 2015, the VIX spikes briefly for a week over the 40 level. I'm going to put this up here now, and it is almost the exact bottom once again, right? A brief bottom because then I guess we did go a little bit lower. But either way, you're buying at 1921. We bottomed at 1857. That's a great long-term buy. You just bought another 10, 20% correction. That's excellent. Fast forward, let's see the next instance. So 2018, we dropped from 2875 all the way down to 26, 25. So again, another 10% correction. Was at the bottom, very close before we headed higher. Yes, okay, long term, yes, we dropped a little bit more. VIX didn't spike. Nothing's perfect. But then we look at 2020. The VIX spikes above that 40 indication again, and it is very close to the bottom yet again. You buy another very large correction. That's a black swan event as well. It's an excellent opportunity to buy long-term stocks. Then we continue moving. I always forget how to adjust this. Continue moving. 2022, right? Early 2022, we ended up dropping. The VIX almost gets that 40 level. We actually did spike above it in January 2022 after that 10% correction. Is it perfect to buy there? You dollar cost average. You could dollar cost average all the way down. Okay, now we come up. Your average is somewhere here. It's still an excellent buy. But now what are we seeing today? Big market sell-off, right? We had that double top we've talked about. VIX is back above 40. This is your opportunity to start looking to buy long-term stocks. And guys, I don't want to confuse you. This is not about crypto right now. This is about the stock market. I have no idea how the VIX works with Bitcoin. I don't believe that we have enough data to go over Bitcoin and the VIX just because, I just don't think we have that great of data with Bitcoin and the VIX. I mean, yes, Bitcoin's going to follow the S&P 500. And I would argue, you could buy some Bitcoin now, but I'm not interested in, long-term stuff. I mean, guys, if I had $10,000 and this is going to be money that I take out 20 years from now, I would be buying right now, right? This is long-term stuff. Buy crashes, not dips. Yeah, I mean, of course. Crypto dumped way before stocks. I mean, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. Only 29 people. This might not be the bottom, but almost. Yeah, but you have to remember a lot of people are viewing on Twitter. I have over 700 viewers on Twitter at the moment. So lots of people find it easier just to open up Twitter and open up the live stream. I don't blame them. Also, YouTube live stream is terrible. It's really hard to like promote it and whatnot. Plus, you can't play music. You can't do anything. Right. Enough of the VIX. You guys get the point. Volatility spiked above 40. It's an excellent opportunity to start looking to buy stocks. Again, not crypto. We're not focusing on crypto at the moment. But the dollar bounced significantly, I guess, today, because it dumped really hard the last 2 days due to tariffs. So nice bounce off support. I have a hard time making a claim to TA at the moment on the dollar. I think everything's dumping just because there's a massive global, I guess, economic shift right now. And a lot of it has to do with tariffs and a lot of it has to do with uncertainty. So it's not that I'm, look, in a normal scenario, this is very bullish for everything else. But the fact that the stock market just had its 2 worst weeks in a very long time tells me that there's more of a bigger issue here that's affecting everything related to the US, right? Think about the dollar, think about the stock market. Everything is being affected. It almost in regards to like a black swan event. That's how this is acting. Now, I would argue this is not as dramatic as a black swan event, but everything's going down because there's this weird paradigm shift happening in the global market. I hope that kind of makes sense. Let's look at, you know what, I don't even want to look at total. I think you'll get more value out of Bitcoin. So, a couple big things, guys. I'm still macro bearish. Why? Because we have bearish structure. It really doesn't have a lot to do with me selling. If I saw bullish indications, I would definitely look for long opportunities. My problem here is this is a bearish structure. You have a breakdown, you have a retest, you have the stock market going down. I can't really make a claim to the dollar yet, but you also have tether dominance trying to break out here, moving sideways, likely moving sideways because your stock RSI is overbought. You had a little bit of a bearish divergence here, so a little bit of sideways to continue higher. Also, Bitcoin dominance is continuing higher, right? Bitcoin dominance goes up in a bear market. It goes down in a bull market. It's an orange swan event. It actually really does not have a lot to do with Trump. I know the tariffs are scaring a lot, but also the market's finally realizing how much fake money was pumped into it by the Biden administration. I mean, guys, they literally changed the definition of recession in 2022 so that Biden wouldn't be, on paper having a recession, right? It's total bullshit. But the weekly, I mean, guys, at the end of the day, I'm bearish. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you have a problem with that, and that's fine, but you have a breakdown, retest, we're moving sideways, likely to continue lower. A couple things I wanted to point out. The daily Bollinger Bands getting tight, getting really tight. Tightest we've been in a while. I guess since the original breakdown. So to me, you broke down, you're flagging, likely to continue lower. I'd like to see the lower 70s before I look for a serious long opportunity. However, if we get one in here, I'll look for something. But what's wild to me is every single time we move up slightly, we immediately get shot back down. And a lot of these upward moves are like low volume. And another thing, and I know I'm kind of rambling here, but this is almost reminding me of what happened here, where we dumped, everyone thought we bottomed, we created a new high, and then we continued the bear market lower. I almost wonder if we're going to do the exact same thing, where we kind of range in this area, maybe come back up to 91, everyone thinks we've bottomed, and then we continue, lower into that 60 to 70K range. Tariffs repricing of everything, if tariffs are here to stay. Oh, I missed your first message. Hold on. Thing for me is the tariff situation is not resolved. Trump isn't going to fold after he just called it Liberation Day. Which corporations are going to get hit the hardest? How bad will these costs be, and how bad will they impact profits, employments, inflation? There's so much uncertainty, which isn't resolved. I mean, that's kind of why a lot of the market is dropping. I read today Apple phones could go from 1K to 3K in price. Article on Bloomberg. I don't. Yeah, but you have to think about this. If Apple phones go to $3,000, there's no one's going to buy them. So they'll have to reduce they'll have to reduce the price. You have to remember a lot of things are driven by supply and demand. And if people aren't lining up to buy new phones because they're too expensive, they're going to have to drop in value. Like almost think about gas, right? Like gasoline prices in the winter, they're usually lower than the summer because less people are traveling, right? There's less demand for gas. Now I know there's a lot of other implications for those prices, but a lot of it is led by supply and demand. I mean, think about maybe a food stand, right? If you're selling cheeseburgers and people are lined out the door, you're going to charge more because you know that you can charge more because there's a lot of demand, right? And you have limited supply. If no one's lining up at the door, you're going to find a way to be cost efficient so that you sell product. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, probably right to a degree. Oil nukes so good for inflation. Yeah, that's probably good. But inflation's still ticking up, which is obviously not ideal. Let's look at the 4 hour. We know the daily. We know the weekly. You guys know I'm bearish. We're just ranging. This does look like an interesting little double bottom thing. My problem is it's very wide and it looks more like a range, and the daily doesn't really reflect that double bottom. Let's look at the 12 hour. 12 hour doesn't look bad, but I have another issue with this giant, enormous wick. It just makes everything very awkward. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of intra analysis because we're just ranging and it's very boring. Plus, we're about to start the weekend. We're struggling at the 84K level. Again, I have this as a lower time frame level because we've seen lots of support, lots of resistance, lots of kind of messing around this level. Clearly, it's, if we don't get above it, if we get above it, we stay above it briefly. If we're below it, then we likely come back down this weekend. I almost wonder if Bitcoin's going to drop this Saturday because the stock market's dropping so much. I'm shocked Bitcoin didn't go to 75K already. Yeah, so am I, a little bit. If only rich buy cell phones at premium, then what is an extra 2K? It's an interesting time. Yeah, but Apple can't make money off 5% of the population. They need to sell phones to everybody. Just the S&P. I wouldn't really do individual stocks because I don't really want to track them. But yeah, I'd just put money in the S&P for the most part. Guys, the S&P is the best way to make long-term growth. Part of the reason that crypto is so messed up is that everyone has this idea that you're going to take $1,000 and become a millionaire in a year. And I know that there are stories behind that, but guys, if you can make 10 to 20% on your money every single year, you're doing excellent, right? And these types of corrections, right, in the stock market are excellent opportunities to make that 10 to 20% over time, right? This idea that you're going to take $100 and turn it into $100,000, that's just not going to happen, right? That's like winning the lottery. I can't believe you mentioned Biden in reference to this nonsense. We were on good trajectory. Dude, we are not on good trajectory with the Biden administration. That's just total bullshit. I'm not like a huge I'm not a huge politics guy, but the Biden administration was wasting money. They were pumping the economy with fake money. They were printing money to boost the economy. They changed the definition of recession in 2022 so that their administration wouldn't be responsible for the recession. Look, you guys can blame Trump all you want, and I understand the tariff issue and all of this, but once all of this gets resolved, and again, I think a lot of this correction is needed. The market's now realizing how fake and propped up it's been, and it's reacting to that and using the tariffs as an excuse as well. And I'm sure the tariffs are affecting it, but Trump did the same thing in 2016, and the market went up from there. Roman, you're a legend. I remember you buying Bitcoin at 22 and DCAing in that area. I also remember you saying the stock market Correction in 2022 looked done, and you sure enough things pulled up legendary? Oh, no problem. I fear Bitcoin will still go to 55 to 60K. I mean, I believe so. Maybe this downturn is another chance. So my thing is one, alts are cooked. Guys, alts are cooked. Look at Ethereum to Bitcoin. Cooked. Look at Ethereum's chart. Cooked. Absolutely cooked. Now, look, you could make the argument, well, what if we reclaim? And okay, you've got me. Right? But until these charts start showing strength and not weakness, none of these are showing any sort of strength at all. Like, they're literally making lower lows. They're losing levels of support. I mean, this is embarrassing for the altcoin space, and I think needed, personally. I think there's too many scams. I think there's too much nonsense. There's over 20 million altcoins we could do without 99.99% of them. Is this a chance to buy into crypto or no? I mean, that's depending on how you look at it. You could argue in 2021 at the 60K peak that it was a chance to buy crypto. I think it's a good chance to buy stocks personally. A 20% correction in the S&P 500 is, I mean, that's excellent. That's an excellent time to buy. I've unfollowed so many people on Twitter in the last month because just so many people in crypto are just too bull tardy and annoying. Yeah. You're telling me a weekly structured break doesn't flip you bearish is laughable analysis. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I agree so much. Yeah. And look, that needs to happen. Think about like the .com bubble where you had thousands of internet companies and now we have like 10, right? That's going to happen to this altcoin space. We're going to have maybe 1,000 coins that are actually, and I hope it's even less than that, though, because I hope it's like 100. Like, I'm done with the scams. I'm done with the nonsense. This is why I don't really mess with alts at all. This is why, one, I don't trade them. Two, yeah, I bought spot and I made some money, lost some money. I ultimately made money, which is great. But there were altcoins like Fetch. This is crazy. I bought Fetch 3 years ago. Bought Fetch 3 years ago, right? And I think I actually bought it like, I can't remember. No, I bought it here. That's where I bought it. I bought it when it broke out of this. I was like, oh, breakout, excellent, right? And it was excellent. Went up a shit ton. And, you know, what I thought we would actually have a bull market, when I sold it break even. I sold it right where I bought it. Like, in my opinion, we never even got a full bull market. And I guess, you know, hindsight, seeing this is a pretty massive move upwards. You know, that is what it is. But my problem was we never even saw downturn from Bitcoin dominance. We never saw Ethereum do anything. You know, Link did okay, but still didn't really do much. So I was under the assumption we were going to have an alt season. We just didn't. No, I'm not looking at any altcoins. Guys, I'm telling you right now, there's zero reason to trade alts. Stop trading alts. Stop wasting your time. If you want to trade Bitcoin. Trading altcoins right now, when Bitcoin dominance is breaking out, when Ethereum to Bitcoin is showing weakness, when Tau, Fetch, Solana, Link, ICP, Gala to Bitcoin. Guys, there are altcoins that are literally breaking below their bear market lows right now. Stop trading altcoins. The space is getting wiped clean, and for good reason. Is the crypto space cooked for good? No. I think crypto is going to do great over the next 5 to 10 years. It's just cooked. The altcoins are cooked for now. I have a feeling it's going to be Bitcoin for a very long time. I hope so. I hope it's like that. How can new people join in? Is there Bitcoin if there's Bitcoin dominance, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, best hope is everything sells and moves to Bitcoin. Yeah, but we also cut out 99.99% of all of these trash coins. Like, I'll be honest with you, get rid of all of this. That's not Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Link. Honestly, get rid of all of it. I don't even care about... Part of the reason why I bought some of these, like Mana, when I bought Mana, this is another one I sold for break even. I bought it at literal lows. And I sold it at literal lows 2 years later. Unreal. Maybe keep, some of the exchange coins, but there's no reason we should have 20 million fucking altcoins. Yeah, to your point, Joe, the fact that people are overlooking this is crazy. And look, it is crypto. It is trading. Look, we could pop up. That scenario is possible. I don't want to say it's impossible, but not being bearish right now or having a bearish bias when we literally have a breakdown and retest with low volume, especially moving sideways, likely heading lower because our Bollinger Bands need to get tight, right? We're probably going to range. This brings it down, and then we continue lower. We don't have any volatility right now. That's why we're very slow, and the last couple weeks have been boring. So there is no alt season. No, there's not going to be an alt season. Not while Bitcoin dominance continues to rise and altcoins show weakness. That's what I've been saying for the last 5 weeks. It's crazy, man. You know what the sad part is? My Twitter, and you can tell, dude. You can tell a lot of people got rinsed this cycle, which is unfortunate. I feel for you guys because I was one of the people like, yeah, man, you could fucking buy anything right now. You're probably gonna make some money, but really the only thing that made anyone money was Bitcoin. And by the time, people got interested into Bitcoin, it was too late. And I can tell that a lot of people got rinsed, man, because when I open up my Twitter feed, I don't see anyone talking about, I don't want to say anyone, but I can tell not many people are trading. I can tell that there's a lot of people that have been riding a wave. I don't know what, maybe they were making money. Maybe they weren't making money, but they liked the Twitter popularity that they were getting. And now I don't see them posting at all. Like, my Twitter is literally just ads. Like, it's literally just like CoinMarketCap stuff. Or, speaking of CoinMarketCap, I'm doing some analysis for them. I should have, pretty cool. I do have an announcement for that later. But yeah, I mean, it's just like ads and exchange updates, Cointelegraph articles. Like, there's no one talking about trading because I think people are just getting rinsed. Ability of silly question here, but would it be a bad idea to trade the breakdown of alts since no, because we're down 80%. Because here's the thing, like, you don't trade. Look, you don't short when you've done this. Like, that's not what. No, you don't do that. Like, you look for shorts here or maybe on this retest. You don't short after Ethereum's dropped fucking 60%. You don't look to short. You actually look to long. But again, there's a lot of other things at play here. Like, look at Fetch. I would never short this. Why? Because we're down 80%. In like 20 weeks. At some point, this thing's going to catch a bounce. It has to. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But shorting now is, no. That's stupid. I couldn't show my Twitter feed on camera, geez. So why Liberty Fund is buying Link and ENA and other altcoins? I don't give a shit what the Liberty Fund is doing. I'm not part of the Liberty Fund. Michael Saylor has been buying Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin drops below, I think if Bitcoin drops below like 65K, he's underwater. Like, I don't care what other people are doing. I don't care if there's some hedge fund buying Bitcoin right now. I don't want to. Right? Guys, where was the Liberty Fund when Bitcoin was at $15,000? Where were these hedge funds and everyone? Like, where were these people? Right? In 2021, you had countries buying, right? Countries were buying Bitcoin and big companies and Tesla, and we dropped 60% in fucking 2 weeks. I don't give a shit what the Liberty Fund is doing. I don't care what Trump says about crypto. I don't care. I think overall it'll be positive in the future. I think there will be, structure in place for crypto to do well and excel, but I don't give a shit. I buy when things are low and I sell them when they're high. I don't care about all the hype. In retrospect, I figured we'd continue higher because we were getting a lot of hype because we had an administration supporting the space. But you've clearly seen over the last 10 weeks that it doesn't fucking matter who and what is happening. The market dropped 30% from highs. So what stocks I'm just buying the S&P 500. I'm not sure which corps are going to do well from the tariff stuff yet. I mean, you'd have to do more research on that, but I would just buy the S&P 500. I mean, just buy the fund. It's the S&P 500 is the best performing asset of all time. And here's the thing. If the S&P 500 goes to zero, like, okay, we're probably going to go lower, right? Let's say we go to 4,500, but you started buying today. All right. We have a couple scenarios, right? I'm going to leave this stuff here just for now. But let's say we go all the way to here and we range for a while, whatever. We go up. If you started buying right here and bought all the way down to here and here and here, and let's say you stopped buying there, right? Your average is somewhere in the 4,800s. Okay, and when we go to 7,600 or whatever we go to in the future, because think about it this way: if the S&P 500 goes to zero, you've got bigger problems than money, right? That means there's a zombie apocalypse, or we got nuked, or whatever's happening, and the only thing that your money is going to be useful for is fucking bullets and guns and fishing hooks. That's about it. The Trump meme president, yeah, that was crazy. You know, I bought Trump coin and it's down 85% after I bought an 80% correction. Great. I didn't buy. I bought like a couple $100 worth just to see what would happen. Hate this damn mic. I'm learning how you got to sometimes think if things are going to top, do it or smell. Yeah, my biggest problem is crypto and Bitcoin, really Bitcoin. If you go to the monthly, I'm going to show you something. We've had a very consistent monthly topping indication, right? Very, very consistent with at least RSI. And we didn't even get close, which is a little surprising to me. But, you know, that is what it is. But at the moment, I don't think that the market is in a risk-on environment. I don't think that, especially altcoins, are going to be worth buying. As I put a lot of my money into a real estate fund and some venture capital, and I'm looking to put some back into the S&P 500 here soon. Other than that, I really don't have a lot of interest in long-term crypto because here's the biggest thing. Yes, I'm a crypto believer, right? I believe that crypto will have its place and Bitcoin could go to $1 million one day. But here's my problem, right? I bought here. I sold right here, right? Huge gain. If I buy all that back right here, what's the point? I would like to see us come down pretty significantly, if we are going to go down. And look, we could put in like another top just like here. That's possible. But I'm still not interested because my risk to reward is my risk to reward is much higher, right? I'm risking way more. Okay, maybe I make 40%. Great. Awesome. 40% is good. I'm not going to ever say it's not. But after we had dumped, 80% in 2021, or really 22, 23, my risk to reward was very small. Like my reward was way higher than my risk there. Because look, maybe Bitcoin goes to zero, maybe it drops to 12K or 8K, but I'm buying a pretty large correction, right? We've only corrected from where we are now. We've only corrected 22%. I want to see minimum 50, minimum. I love when people are getting bearish and start shorting, it's next. Yeah, just like everyone who's hopefully bullish, right? Oh, really? The gate? I don't know how to say that word. But that's interesting. It's just funny how people are still looking bullish, knowing that stocks are literally getting shit on. Like literally getting shit on right now. You know, we're clearly not in a risk on environment. The tariff stuff. I will say this. I have no idea how Bitcoin's at 84K right now with this that happened this week. Very remarkable. All right, guys. I've got a birthday party to go to in like 30 minutes, so I'm going to get out of here. I will be looking to stream a little bit more. I do apologize that I have not been streaming. I've just been busy with stuff. Plus, we actually have had some pretty wild storms here, and I lost power for like 2 days. I was gonna stream on Wednesday, but we had lost power. But with all that said, guys, I hope you have a great weekend. You know, start having a strategy if you want to buy the S&P 500, right? Everyone today was saying, "Oh my God, when Bitcoin bounce or when stocks bounce, crypto is gonna moon." It could. Everyone's just coping. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, guys, with all that, I'm out of here.